Hi, Sam Volkering here with Idan Schmorak from Unith AI. We're going to be talking about AI and all the things that Unith does and Idan's view on the industry and where it's heading. So I think the best place to start is to maybe just introduce yourself quickly and a little bit about what Unith's doing and what part of the AI industry you guys are focusing on.
Sam, thanks for having me. So introducing myself, I'm Idan. I'm the CEO of Unith. We're an ASX traded company, and we are in the intersection between conversational AI and generative AI. And very simply, but not really simply, we create digital humans that we create in a computer. We create humans that could look like you, like me. We can actually clone you or me and your voice and your face and put whatever discipline that you want for a company in it. So we are a B2B business, and we allow businesses to have digital humans representing them online. Imagine your marketeer, your salesperson, or the most simple example, your customer support in an insurance company. That's us, and we've been creating this throughout the last 2 years. We have commercialized this very lately, and we are about to release some very interesting developments from our end, as we have worked very hard in the next 6 months to really improve our software.
Yeah, I've spoken to you a few times previously, and I've seen the shots on your website, and everyone that's watching, head to Unith's website, Unith, UNITH.ai, and check it out. There's some great screen grabs on there at the moment, but I do love the what I've seen Unith be able to do that I haven't necessarily seen other AI do in this space is what you're developing really does look like real human beings. And it's one of the sort of I guess criticisms of human-like AI creation previously, and even to an extent now, is that kind of uncanny valley gap, right, that we talk about, where sometimes computer-generated humans are uncomfortably weird. How have you guys managed to bridge that gap from the uncomfortable weird AI to, oh, actually, this is pretty much a human?
So we're not there yet. We are the industry leader in getting close to that. But the year is 2023, and mankind still did not achieve reaching humanity or human likeness, complete human likeness with a computer. We're close there. I assume that in the next 2-3 years, companies like Unith or even us would cross that bridge. And then comes an ethical question. How do you represent human? Where is the line between a human and a machine? Sounds like really futuristic Black Mirror problems, but we're close to engaging with them. And even now today, our human likeness is reached by a cutting-edge technology. We are basing ourselves on research and working with researchers from university. We employ PhDs in machine learning and video processing to help us to reach those levels. The technological aspect of this is huge. What in the past, just to get it in less than 60 seconds, people would solve the problem of how to recreate a human in 3D, but it has a lot of costs and a lot of process involving with it. And we tackle that problem from a totally different angle. We do this with machine learning tools, and it enables us to create something really pretty, really human-like, really quick, and really cheap. And it allows us to commercialize a solution that just doesn't exist because no one's been able to reach commercialization and production in these levels. So it's really interesting. And from an ethics perspective, this is something we really discuss among all levels, from commercial to the developers that are creating this. How are we creating something that does not confuse the users? We are a very consumer-centric company, and we want to make sure that people that use us are getting an honest and the best service that they can. So we make sure, for example, even today, when it's still clear that it's a machine, to clarify we're speaking with the digital human and not with an actual human. Just so now we were involved, and we're going to be involved in the future in a lot of medical, not necessarily medical advice, but medical information being held by our digital humans. And this is something we are really careful with disclosing with. So,
yeah, I think it's it's kind of a catch-22. It's like when you have these ethical questions, but then at the same time, if you get to that point where you have to say this isn't an actual real person, that's kind of a good thing though, right, as well, because it means that you've taken that leap.
Yes, we're certainly taking that leap. And when you speak with our digital humans, when they're just idle before they start speaking, it's just like being in a video call. And that's exactly what we're trying to reach, because we're in a very interesting space, because we're trying to kind of humanize what has been lost with digitization. Just going to a website or reading something or speaking with a chatbot, which is a horrible thing. It's going to improve now with ChatGPT in the picture, but still, it's not a great experience, and always get to a dead end. And we try to help companies not to reach the dead end. And even if they get to the dead end in service, at least they get it with a smile, with a character. And we're very, I want to say lucky that the world has gone to our way, and we see a lot of companies now gaining interest in adding the digitization to their services, from the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah, it's an interesting and exciting direction, I think. I mean, we were just talking off camera, and I was saying I was having some great frustration with an insurance company just trying to cancel some car insurance. And it was a bot, and then the bot went to a human, but then the human wasn't there. She's only there like every 15 minutes or 30 minutes. And it was just like pulling my hair out, thinking, just give me, right now would be the perfect solution for an actual human AI chatbot to be speaking to me and delivering the questions I had with that, they say, that open dialogue, which I guess probably hasn't really been an outcome so much before, until sort of the more recent developments with large language models. I guess, could you give everyone maybe a bit of a snapshot about the acceleration or the timeline that it's gone from, maybe where you were a couple of years ago in this kind of space to where Unith is now, and then what does the next couple of years beyond that look like?
So first, we're not the only one in that space, and this is what has changed. A lot of companies are, especially with the blossom of ChatGPT, everybody wants to do generative AI now. We've been in this space since 2020, but everybody wants to do generative AI, which is it's not a bad thing, because we hold a lot of expertise that we've gathered, a lot of experience that we've gathered working with the market, developing the technology, and creating something proprietary, which is very unique and replicable. And the second thing is that we see the willingness from the market. Companies that in the past were not so easygoing on digitization and saying, we want to embed tools that has AI in them, but we are too scared to just, cross the wall and assign personnel to actually deal with those integrations, because for a lot of companies, even big insurance companies or big tech companies, that does onboarding to their employees, and that's something which we do that we did today as well. The willingness to interact and the willingness to invest not only funds but also time in integrating has changed completely. And I think the world is going to a very interesting place, because we are going to see, and I think when we bring those digital humans, the first thing that we see is a lot of fear. So is that going to replace nurses? Is this going to replace service providers or customer support? And the answer is hell no. The answer is it's going to make their lives much more productive, and it's going to probably save some man hours, but it would translate to more productive man hours in another. Because in the end, you're going to need a human at one point or another. But you also you're going to get to a point in which the human that takes care of a patient that needs information before surgery, or to someone that has an insurance claim, to come with a lot more information to the representative. So we're going to make organizations much more productive. We're going to save time, and hopefully we're going to help to drive revenue in the future as well.
Is it fair to say that now, is it fair to say now more than ever that businesses are a bit more open in terms of opening their wallets to looking to integrate something like this into their systems?
Yes, I think we're at a focal point for all industries and their relation to digitization and technology, because from one hand, we are in an incredible technology uptick of the world with ChatGPT, and people understand that ChatGPT is a great example of the world has been able to gather an incredible amount of data about anything, about you, about me, about quantum theories. And Google was our way to kind of search for it, but it's too much information. And to crunch all of that, it's too much. And ChatGPT is just a great example of, okay, this is a machine learning model or tool that can crunch all of that and give you a human-like set. That companies like us, we crunch it in a much narrower way, and we provide this service to organizations with a human. And from the other hand, we are in an economical downturn, and companies want to be more efficient and make their man hours much more efficient. And that creates a very good scenario to operate in for us, at least, and for companies like ours.
It's that convergence of technology being at the level of capability where it provides those efficiencies. Whereas I think maybe going back a few years, the technology wasn't quite there, and those that were pioneering enough to use it maybe didn't see the full efficiencies that they could deliver. A couple of years down the track, the release, that pivotal moment of something like ChatGPT, which kind of, as you know, is not the first iteration of that, but it's kind of the first consumer-facing iteration of that, where anyone could go in and go, oh, this is how this stuff works. I think has opened up people's minds, it's opened up businesses' minds, and the capital is now starting to allocate itself into this as a really good way of using new technology. Well, not new technology, but certainly technology that's at that point now where it perhaps hasn't been before. One final thing I'll ask is, a lot of people, there's, when technologies like this hit the market, hit the mainstream media, and people are talking about it, as you sort of touched on before, there is a lot of fear about change and these new technologies. Of course, we're very optimistic about how these technologies are used in society and in businesses and in economies. What's your big picture view here? Is AI something that is really going to touch every industry on earth, from cloud to insurance to manufacturing to fast-moving consumer goods? Is there anything that AI won't impact over the next decade?
I doubt it. I think AI is going to be everywhere, and I think that we are going to see the incrementals of improvements in technology. They're going to be much quicker. The intervals are going to be much lower because artificial intelligence, even ChatGPT itself, it learns from all of the inquiries that people ask it. So it knows, and for example, with our clients, we know what is interesting and what is a meaningful interaction, for example. So we are able to provide a much better service in 1 year's time, whether in the past it took us 3 years to learn. And the learning curves are becoming much faster. And it will be anywhere from agriculture, improving the cultivates and the ways that people harvest their fields with a drone analyzed picture, all the way to the most advanced biotechnological industries, and all the way in the middle. So I believe that the world is going to change, and it's going to be much quicker than ever thought it would be. But from the other hand, change doesn't necessarily mean such a high risk for what we hear about privacy and things like that. It needs to be super monitored, and it's really good that governments are putting attention on this, because if regulation would not be there, like in any industry, in financial fraud, for example, if you won't put balances and checks and balances, it's going to be risky. So assuming that everybody is aware and monitoring as much as it could do in an advanced market, then I think we're going to a really interesting place. And all of our jobs, including mine, yours, and the people listening or watching this, are going to be a bit different and easier in some ways, so we could so everybody could concentrate on the things that matter.
That's a good point. Making everyone's life a bit easier to concentrate on the things that matter. I think that's a really good way to finish up today. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll be back again soon with more interviews and more information on the AI collision. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.